Up next, I'll take a look at the ANNAPRO pressure reducing comfort head strap for the Apple Vision Pro Generation 2. So in a previous video, I did take a look at the first generation ANNAPRO pressure reducing comfort head strap for the Apple Vision Pro. And I picked that up mostly because I was really curious about using my Apple Vision Pro in the open face configuration. And after using that for a while, I have since discovered that I do prefer using the open face configuration when I'm trying to be productive. Mostly when I'm using pass-through and I have a few apps open and I even have my virtual Mac desktop open. I really do prefer that open face configuration. As I mentioned in my previous video, I really didn't have an issue too much with just using the single strap from Apple with Apple Vision Pro. I did have a bit of pressure on the top of my brow and a little bit underneath my eyes, but it didn't really bother me too much and I could still use my Apple Vision Pro hours on end. What I did find is that the first generation ANNAPRO, it did reduce any facial pressure and it put a lot of the pressure on top of the head. And I found that worked really well whether I used the light seal or I didn't. So now ANNAPRO has made a few adjustments from user feedback and they've released the first part of their second generation system. So from what I understand, ANNAPRO's second generation of their comfort head strap will consist of two parts. The first part, which I have today, is the head strap. And they've made a few changes based on user feedback. And the second part is a back strap, which will possibly have an integrated battery. So that'll help even out the weight distribution when you wear your Apple Vision Pro. So I'm looking forward to seeing the changes and updates they made for this second generation ANNAPRO pressure reducing comfort head strap. So let's dive right into it and take a look what comes in the box. And here we have the ANNAPRO A2 pressure reducing comfort head strap for the Apple Vision Pro. And I'd like to thank ANNAPRO for sending this out and giving me an opportunity to test this out and review. So the packaging looks very similar to the first generation. There is the new head strap in the beauty shot. ANNAPRO. It says reduces face pressure by 60 to 90%, patented appearance, tailored molds, and eco-friendly recyclable design. And on the back, it shows that it's model A2, compatible with Apple Vision Pro, and thickness of sponges, 10mm, 15mm, 20mm, and 25mm. So it looks like 4 different thicknesses of cushion. And we open it up, and it says ANNAPRO pressure reducing comfort head strap for Apple Vision Pro. That still looks like the first gen design in that illustration. And there's the back. And here it is, the second generation head strap portion of the ANNAPRO pressure reducing comfort head strap system. And it looks like they have a cushion installed and they give you 3 additional. So what do you say, 10mm, 15mm, 20 and 25. So I'm not sure if they're accurate, but this would be the 10, 15, 20, and 25. So this one, the 25, that's really thick. Very spongy. And they give you, again, 4 sizes. That is a bunch, isn't it? So this new material on these cushions, they are calling this ice silk. And I will say they are very spongy, cushiony. The material itself feels very soft and supple, and they more than likely will be more comfortable than the original cushions, which were made of this kind of thin leathery material. And it really didn't do anything great for sweat absorption. So sometimes if it's really hot and you're sweating, you have the sweat roll down your face. These feel a bit more absorbent, and I would guess they are probably washable. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the first generation ANNAPRO pressure reducing comfort head strap from my Apple Vision Pro. Let's go ahead and compare them. So as you can see, the material is definitely different. So like I said, they had a thin leather material here, and this is the new ice silk material. One of the downsides about the older material is it did bunch up like that, and it would leave marks on kind of like the top of my head. So hopefully this material is a lot more comfortable and won't leave those marks. You won't get ANNAPRO strap head. But again, the first generation was really comfortable for me anyway, regardless. So hope these improvements make the experience even better. And with that, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the second generation strap. The material looks about the same. Different shade of white, I guess. Maybe you call it a little warmer, maybe. It is flatter and it is more matte than the original. And there is this is made of two pieces. This top piece here and the second part that holds the cushion. The part that holds the cushion, I don't want to pry it off. It does look like it's in two pieces, but I don't know if I might break it if I try to force that off, so I'm not going to do that. But I don't feel any movement in this piece here. So it is attached, but I don't feel any movement. The cushion is attached via Velcro, so you can swap them out. This is the second thinnest or third thickest cushion. I believe this is the 15, and again it's as small as a 10, which would fit on there like this. And that's the thinnest one. And the thickest is 25, which I think this one is. And that is a thick strap. It's a big boy, I guess, for those with smaller heads. But again, very squishy. I think that's going to be very comfortable on there. So I'm going to go back to the default one and fit this onto my Apple Vision Pro. And see how this fits and start off with this one. So again, it fits similarly to like the first generation. You just slide it on. The ANNAPRO logo goes on the front. And this one, I will tell you, it does go on a lot easier. And one of the comments on my first video, there was a concern of whether or not these would damage the audio pod straps because it was so tight. These are a lot looser, so yeah. And you can adjust them. They're saying since they are looser and thinner that you can adjust them back like 5 millimeters at a time. So you can, very slight movement. I mean, that's 0.5 centimeters worth. So let's go ahead and put the strap back on. The single strap Apple, which I actually prefer. And let's power up and let's try it on. And give it a second to boot up. Okay, Vision Pro is started up. So let's go ahead and try on the Vision Pro with the new ANNAPRO Pressure Reducing Comfort Head Strap Gen 2. And fit is really about the same. There is extra cushioning here, so it does feel quite a bit more comfortable. It's sitting at about the same position as the old one. It is a lot, I will say, it is softer. Now I'm really curious to see how this feels in the open face configuration, because again, that's mostly how I use it. Let's go ahead and remove the light seal. Like that. And there's what it will look like without the light seal. And again, that's the open face configuration. Let's go ahead and try this on. Okay, I did get the too close for displays warning, but other than that, it works just like this one, just like the first one. You know what it actually is? I will say it is a bit more comfortable than this one. And I think it's more due to the new padding that they use. Light or weight, again, is distributed along the top here. There's really no pressure on the sides. The back strap is really just holding it on. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do like that. I do like that a bit better than the first gen, I will say. And here's again what it looks like from the side with the open face configuration. And here's what it looks like from the other side. And here's how it looks from the front. I am liking this Gen 2. And if the first gen didn't work for you, I'd say give the second gen a shot, because this one just might. And I'm using the default cushion. If I wanted this to adjust more and sit higher atop my head or even lower, I have 3 more cushions here to choose from. And again, the material on these are a lot more comfortable than the material on the first gen. I would say this is another winner from ANNAPRO. If you like their first one, definitely give the second gen a shot. So yeah, I would say the second generation ANNAPRO pressure reducing comfort head strap for the Apple Vision Pro is definitely an upgrade from the first gen. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying it's a night and day difference, but I will say there is a definite increased comfort with the second gen. If I had the first gen, would I bother buying the second gen? I don't know what the price point is for the second gen. I know the first gen was about $30-something. If they keep that price point, and yes, for me anyway, it would be a worthy upgrade. So this makes me even more interested to see what ANNAPRO does with the second part of their second generation head strap. I'd like to see what the back strap feels like with the battery and see if it evens out some of the balance. Right now, you can tell it is slightly front heavy, but if you do have your strap tightened down along with the ANNAPRO pressure reducing comfort head strap, it is a good balance. And a lot of the weight again is on the front top of your head more so than the front of your face, because you're usually tightening this back strap so that it compresses against your face and stays on. So definitely a good accessory to have, especially if you're looking to increase the comfort when you wear your Apple Vision Pro. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you like the first gen version of the ANNAPRO? Have you tried another head strap that you thought was better than the ANNAPRO? And that'll do it for this one. So until the next one, please take care and be safe out there.